opened up my eyes and you have shown me the vision. You have taken from a boy, made me into this man. You have given me the gift, put this mic in my hand. Yes. Nimetoka bila ya mipango kutoweka njiani. Ni wapi nipite, Baba nishike mkono. Ni wapi nipite. Maisha ngumu Nairobi City, watu wengi hawana pesa, lakini maisha bila nguvu ya Mungu mimi sitaweza. Sikiza, I was born on the 5th of December, lakini now I'm born again, which means I'm living forever. Watu wengi wanauliza kama je nimeokoka, na kama nimeokoka kwa nini waliniona sikoka. I tell them I'm not looking for the ones that he found, I'm searching for the lost sheep that are walking around. Sikiza, juzi niliwatch the passion of Christ. Mungu we ni mwema for sure, you gave us your life, yes. Kwa hivyo everything I spit on the mic, kwanza Mungu nitakuuliza, then I'm taking it right, yes. I'm only human, we all make mistakes. It takes more than just a talk, I'm trying to walk in my shoes. You have given me my life and the freedom to choose. With Jesus in my life, I'm never destined to lose, no.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very, very beautiful Thursday, and you guys are tuned into the 2 Chapiana Hour. I'm your host with the most, Sonia Pinto, and today I am super, super excited. I have a legend in the studio with me today. He is a digital enabler, a content creator, former gospel musician, a father of 2 girls, an SO, a sent one by God. I have I have Richard Njau, also known as a star in the building, guys.
First of all, big ups. You've done your homework. I can see. No one has ever introduced me as an SO.
Yeah. Thank you so much
That's
for
so
gracing us with your presence. And I want to say happy belated birthday.
Yani, can I do another interview? Even before we start, I'm giving you. Thank you.
Happy belated birthday. How was your birthday?
It was superb, man.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know, as I get older, I think simpler things matter.
Mm-hmm.
So my family surprised me. They came to my office with cake.
Oh.
And the whole office was in on it, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
The office got me cake as well. So it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, my heart is full.
I love to hear it. Now, on my show, to Chapiane, we just talk about you and how you've been able to get to where you are now. Mm-hmm. I want to start from the beginning of your love for music.
Yep.
And this was when you started playing the piano.
Let me tell you, you need to interview me for CTA. You've done your homework.
I have done my homework. Can we please start talking about that journey?
Yeah. So 1990, I go to boarding school, Mount Kenya Academy. It speaks my age.
Yeah.
I can't believe my parents sent me to boarding school when I was that young. I've got a daughter now who's 7. I'm like, they sent me to boarding school literally when I was 8.
Yo.
I know it was what I loved. Anyway, I met the most amazing, I loved, now in retrospect, when I look back at my life, I'm like, the best school I ever went to was Mount Kenya Academy. Yeah, that school was just amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like, now I can say that. Then I didn't think that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about the values that the school had, the kind of talent that they exposed me to.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1990, class 3, boarding.
Boarding.
Met a lady called Miss Dillard.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Dillard was like a missionary from states who had come to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that lady, I started doing piano classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, what
Wow.
is this? Like, I wouldn't say I felt it. I was already in love with music, but at that opened up a new thing, a new segment of music in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you also wanted to be a producer and a music manager. Can we talk about the first group you ever managed called Extra Fat?
Damn, your memory.
Memories.
So this is how guys feel when they're doing CTA. Now
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Yes.
So myself, there's a lot of stuff in this. So when was this? Had I come back? Extra Fat Records 19. No, Brayside. Yes.
Yes.
So I go to Brayside, and in Brayside, I'm good friends with this guy called Gitura. Now Gitura Kembi, so the former minister's son.
Okay.
Good pal of mine, till today one of my best friends, and also I say the best producer that Kenya didn't know.
Yeah.
like man, Gitura was insane. So we had this keyboard of his called a PSR 530, and me and Gitura were in Brayside. And then there was another guy called Mikey. So of all the guys, I was the one who couldn't rap.
Yeah.
Like very weirdly. Like, so guys used to diss me and call me the technical engineer, because they'd come to my house with Gitura's keyboard and I'd connect it to this computer and all these different things, and that's where we would create music. And before we knew it, we came up with a group called Extra Fat.
Wow.
And we went and recorded our first song with a guy called Julian Masharia, who very strangely just SMS'd me as I was coming here.
Really?
So, yeah, what's happening with the universe?
Yeah.
Anyway, and I also interviewed Julian Masharia on CTA. So Julian produced, so we used to produce our own music just on cassette. We connect something, and that was, I wouldn't say I managed them. When I think about what a manager now is, but that birthed a love for me. So at that point of my life, I was like, this is what I want to do with my life.
So then you get into Braeburn.
Yeah.
And this is where you meet Prezo, if I'm not wrong.
Very strangely, no. Prezo was in Braeburn, but when I joined Brayside to Braeburn, okay, yes, I met him there. Let me say, the first time I met him was there. Yes, and Prezo was, but by the time I was in Braeburn fully, Prezo had left.
Okay.
He had left Braeburn. By the time I was joining to do my A-levels, Prezo had left. But me and Prezo were neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah, so we lived on Dennis Pritz together. In fact, I say it's so funny. Sakaja lives in the house where I
you
grew
used
up.
to, yeah.
Yeah, when I saw the Nyashinsky interviews, like, I know that house. So Prezo would come to my house. Prezo just lived like literally down the road.
Okay.
So Prezo would come to my house because we had this Gitura producer, myself and now we had even elevated, because Ted Josiah had given Gitura his equipment. And we were just making music, man. Like we were like, that's all we would do. Wake up in the morning, produce. Like we'd do like 10 songs a day.
What?
Like beats, okay, not lyrics and everything, but then Prezo would come and just like, oh man, which beat have you guys made? We make a beat. I mean, we were obsessed. That's all we'd do. And then we'd take that tape and come just next to where you guys are, Electric Avenue, and play on music in the car. You've taken me back.
I'm taking you
Those
back.
are some good memories.
Yeah. Amazing. I want to know how it was making music with all these different people back then.
So there was the producer that we knew at the time, this is 97, 98, just before I got to uni. The only producer I knew at that time who produced stuff that I liked was Ted Josiah. Now my mom worked for BAT, and my mom, Benson and Hedges, she was marketing manager, so she was doing a lot of stuff with Ted Josiah then. So I got all this music, all these CDs and stuff, and I was obsessed. Like, name a producer of that era. I'm talking globally.
Yes.
Forget even Ted Josiah. Ted Josiah was one who I fell in love with locally. But Johnny J, who produced Tupac's album, Rodney Jerkins, Walter Afeni, Babyface, like name the Master P. I would get a CD,
Yeah.
open up the inlay, and just read about the music producer, Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah.
Number 7, who people don't even know was behind like a lot of Ja Rule's music. It's crazy.
Wow. So let us talk about when you went to SA for uni.
Yes.
Now you went to University of Port Elizabeth, which
Yep.
is currently known as the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University.
Yeah.
And this is where something amazing was birthed.
Yep.
You got into web developing.
Yeah.
And let's talk about KenyaMadness.net.
So it started at kenyanmadness.8k.com. It's the first official music, the first official platform where you could get Kenyan music.
Yeah, diaspora. Yeah.
Globally, like there was nobody doing it. Maybe Mashada.com was trying, but all these other people who were didn't have access to music because they didn't come home often.
Yeah.
So I left in 2001, just as the music industry was exploding.
Yes.
Now, like proper.
Proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had all these pictures that were taken on Kodak films. So I was failing in accounting, opened up Kenyan Madness. So Kenyan Madness literally just started as a place where I would put my friends' pictures, because all my friends went to different parts of the world.
World, yeah.
So we're trying to just recollect all these memories that we had in that period before we went. And I mean, internet was a problem. Not internet, like internet space. So like there was none of this Google Cloud at the time. There was hotmail.com.
Yes.
It only gave you 5 MBs.
Yeah.
So like imagine getting all, like you've got 100 photos and then you want to put on, and your other friend has 100. So everybody started to send me the photos, because I was failing in accounting, picked up web designing. They started sending me the photos. I would put the photos on the website. Now their friends would send me photos. Their friends would send me photos. And before I knew it, I had this website that had all these pictures.
Yeah.
Where people would come and see. But then at the same time, remember, you've just talked about me and Prezo making music on cassettes.
Yeah.
I now digitized the cassettes into
Okay.
MP3s. And I've also told you about having all these albums from Tejosiah and stuff.
Yes.
So now I turned all those into MP3s. And suddenly,
Wow.
if you're across the world and you're looking for Kenyan music, da-da-da-da, there's this website called kenyanmadness.8k.com that you could get it. The reason I moved to kenyanmadness.net is because the website was crashing too often. Because you
Really?
can imagine, suddenly you've got 300,000 people coming into the website.
Oh, wow.
Like bandwidth, nothing. Crashes.
Oh, wow.
So a company called Net Shopping sponsored me, gave me kenyanmadness.net. Still used to have bandwidth issues just because of the kind of traffic that I would get, especially every first of the month when I would update new music onto the site. It was insane. We're talking at its peak, we're getting close to 1 million Kenyans logging in.
What?
I know, like I didn't know what I had.
Yeah,
at that
did
time.
you anticipate? Did you think like it would grow and become that big?
Honestly speaking, no. I was failing in accounting.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I picked it up.
That's how you picked it up.
and then it's I didn't see it like that, but that changed me. I say that was the most pivotal moment of my digital career, because it made me understand, oh, you can make money from this thing.
Yes.
Because the societies, the East Africans within South Africa started calling me for events and things like that. So I would always be at Rhodes University, UCT,
Yeah.
Joburg once or twice. Yeah, but it was good.
So that's how you were getting money from it. You would get called.
No, I had rich parents.
You had
I'm serious, just keeping it honest. I didn't even
Yeah.
really understand the kind of money that site was giving me, because I didn't have I was financially illiterate.
Okay.
Or I hadn't seen a world where because imagine making $1,000 back then, 2001, a month,
Yo,
for just doing what you're doing for fun.
imagine.
Yeah, but that money would go within a few days on pints.
Yeah. Now let us talk about your music and you getting into gospel music.
Yeah.
First, I want us to talk about your name, A-Star.
Yeah.
There is a significant meaning and you talk about it. Okay, back then it was A-Star, you know, like when you get the grade A-Star.
Yep. Like A+, but now A-Star.
But now A-Star,
yeah.
yes. But then that transitioned into something else. Could you please tell us the story behind it?
Yeah, that's actually such a... First of all, guys, I'm going to be listening to the interviews done on this show. I'm not lying to you.
Thank you.
In my musical career, I've never done an interview where somebody has done this much research.
Really?
Yep. I don't know if it was inaccessible because there's not much on the internet, but you've done your homework.
Thank you so much.
And that
Thank
shows
you.
the passion with which and the skill at which you do what you do with.
Thank you.
Pretty impressed.
Thank you.
So A-Star, it came, when during the extra fat days, I was just like, I want the next best thing to perfection.
Yeah.
Because I can't be 100%. So what's the next best thing? It's an A-star.
A-star.
So I just wanted my music, in terms of music production, to be that good. Hence why I got the name A-star.
Yeah.
But then, when I now became a gospel musician, when maisha ngumu Nairobi City, I accepted defeat. Nilianguka lakini Mungu put me back on my feet. It means like yani life got tough. I just told you I had rich parents, but you can imagine going from being one of the richest kids in this country to literally one of the poorest.
That's when you got kicked out.
I was like, but I'm so grateful for that now, because I'm like, wow. It humbled me.
I want us to talk about the story where you were in Mombasa, but okay,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
So A-star, when I become, actually all of this happening concurrently. Like, I mean, like, all this time I've never been able to rap.
Okay.
I could be the music producer. There was a time I was actually got an internship with Asher Raymond's company, J-Pat Management. I wanted to work for Craig David. Like, I could do everything musically apart from rap. So by the time I'm getting saved, God is telling me, like, you are going to rap. Like, rapping is what you're going to do out of all of these things. And you're going to be the light that leads to the light, like the star that led the wise men straight to Christ. And I'm like, that's such a cool name. Like, that's the meaning. You are a star, but you're a star.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, okay, God. And the meaning of that name comes from Matthew 5:16, which says, let your light shine so that people can see the good things that you do with your life, but not praise you, but praise the Father in heaven. I actually want to change that name into my ID.
Really?
Because I've just understood the power of names. Like, the other day I was like, God changed Saul to Paul, Abraham to Abraham. Like, these names are powerful.
That is true.
Yep.
That is very, very true. Let us talk about when you got saved.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about going to coast at your lowest moment, and you were seated in the ocean, and an angel was talking to you. So or it was God.
Yeah,
you know.
Like it was this thing was this. It sounds like a movie or like a fairy tale, but it's actually real life. Every time I go to coast, and I'm going to coast like in a few days, like it's coast has a very special part in my life because I'm seated here because of that trip.
Yes.
So I come back from uni. I want to do music. I never wanted to study the stuff that I'd been sent to study when I went. So I'm battling. I'm refusing to go back to school because I'm just like, I don't want to go do that. Like I want to do music. Like I never even wanted to go to South Africa. I wanted to go to, what is it called? North Carolina, University of North Carolina.
Yes.
To study music management. But my folks are like, nah, come. And then to make matters worse, they hook me up with a job. So every holiday when I would come, they'd throw me to Barclays, Moy Avenue.
Wenda kazi.
Yeah. I mean, I know it sounds like a spoiled brat saying all this things, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So I'm like, I'm not going. I'm taking time to do music. So I take time to do music, and I'm just like, I'm never going back to school.
Yeah.
My folks are like, oh, you're not going back to school, eh? Okay. Leave our car, leave our house, go be a man. I'm like, I can be a man.
I got this.
So life got so hard.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going down. My grandfather had hotels in Mombasa. My grandfather is Matiba. Is Matiba.
Yeah.
He left us, but he was a extremely impactful person in my life. So I go down to the coast, and I'm there for like a month, just drinking and nothing else. Then one day, I invite my friends. They come, they drink with me for the weekend, and then they leave on Sunday. And Monday, I'm just like, I'm not doing this again. I'm done.
Yeah.
So I go to the beach, and I'm on the beach, and I'm just like, where does all the water go? Like, why is it empty? Then I hear a voice in my head say, oh, it comes to me to ask me for permission on when it should return. And I'm like
what?
That sounds crazy and insane, but okay. Then I'm like, I chill there. I'm like, where are all the stars? And I hear the same voice. Ask me. I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember the exact words, but what it was saying, it was, they come and ask me for permission on when they should come and return. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, God, I know I'm speaking to you because my parents were saved. In fact, I think I forgot to mention is that my parents had every CD that was available at that time. Yeah. And I couldn't stand that music. And I listened to all of it. I was just like, the production isn't as good as it should be. Like, I'm, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I Third time I saw crabs, a lot of crabs coming out, and then that's when I knew it was. So I started looking. Then I just had a conversation with God for 3 long days. Like I started walking from South Coast Safari Beach Hotel,
Yes.
all the way to Serena, all the way to North Coast, and all the way to it got insane.
And your end goal was to go to Egypt.
Yeah. Because I was like, right to South Africa. I'm never going back that place. I'm done.
We're going this other.
Though
this
now
other
that the
way.
visas have been removed, I think I want to. But I was like, I'm going to Egypt because I was just like, this place where Moses was had some impact. I'm going there.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it was insane. I ended up getting arrested.
Yeah.
Put in jail, not prison.
Yes, put in jail. And this is when you got to read the Bible.
Yes. No,
You
so
had
now
time.
you can imagine I'm thinking I'm high. I'm thinking I'm still high from everything that's been going on. Like
yeah.
this. But then I read a Bible. Somebody gives me one of those small blue Bibles.
Yeah.
And I read it and I'm like, okay, I wasn't all the madness that has just happened has just happened. And when I leave this place, I'm going to become a rapper. And I left there like the next day.
Wow.
No, to put me on Friday, by Monday I was out.
Then you come back to Nairobi.
Yep.
And you start making music.
Start hustling.
You start hustling.
The song you've just played, Angel, I was walking from studio to studio trying to get a record deal, but producers kept on saying, A star, not real. I knew a lot of these people. I went to tell Josiah.
Yeah.
Made me sit outside this place. Everybody didn't mind me producing, but they minded me rapping. They're like, you're not a rapper. You just produce for us.
Yes.
I went to SRS. I went to a place. I even became a producer at a place called SRS, where I produced for Mr. Googs, Vinnie Banton, Doobies, MC Sharon, Pam. It was insane. I ended up going to, where else did I go? A studio in town. I've forgotten what it was called. Then I ended up going to Shazifex. Shazifex was in Karen.
Yeah.
Backstage Studios. And I was managing a guy. I was also saying, okay, I'll manage BMAC and I'll produce for him. Then I've signed him on as my first artist. And then he was a singer, but he wasn't writing in time. So I ended up writing and singing. Yes, that's how Nimechoka came to be.
And that was your first song.
That's why I say Maisha Ngumu Nairobi City, I accepted defeat.
Yes.
Nilianguka lakini Mungu put me back on my feet.
Yeah.
Like I was speaking faith, but that was the first official song that I had recorded as a gospel artist. Yeah.
Yes. I want to know how it was for you. You're getting into the gospel scene. Were people understanding gospel rap? Like, was it a thing? Because I feel like you're one of the very first people who started the gospel rap. And how was it received?
So I record that song, but remember that song I'm recording for BMAC.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't supposed to record that song. In fact, you just played it.
Yes.
But you played the newer version. You played the version that I recorded now when I got a record deal.
Oh, okay.
Because at this time, Shaz is like, no, dude, Shaz is also a producer. It's not working. And I'm like, all these guys, there's nothing changing about their life. They're still drinking, clubbing, but I'm just like,
it's the same cycle.
Yes, I'm around the same guys. So I'll never forget, December 31st, 2004 into 2005. No, 2005 and 2006. I'm like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I'm leaving all you guys. You guys want to drink me? I'm going to a thing called TSO. I'm going to church.
Yeah.
I'm going to just this thing. And that's where God talks to me and he tells me, because I see two things happening. There's Idea Mziki, they perform this song called Niwewe too. Gospel Fathers and Jogsi were becoming a group. And I didn't even know who these guys are at this time.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the gospel world. And I'm just like, whoa, this is impressive. Okay, this is so Niwewe too. So, oh God, I've been trying to let people know I'm a rapper producer. Okay, I'll now just rap for you.
Yeah.
Then the second person who performs is a guy called Jal, Emmanuel Jal. Emmanuel Jal, back in the day, I had produced for him. Like, in fact, he says I was one of his best producers. But Emmanuel Jal was a nobody back then. I was just like, he would come to my house walking in slippers and I produced for him. Now he had just landed back from the UK. He had a full record deal from the UK.
Wow.
He was with guys like Nelson Mandela, Bono. And I'm like, Jal. And every time I would produce for Jal on a cassette, he'd lift it in the air and says, by faith, God is going to do something with this. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever, man.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm just like, whatever.
Whatever.
So you can imagine I'm seeing him back. I'm on stage just seated. By then I was trying to perform, but the producers, DJ Mos, didn't let me sing at all. I'm seated on stage and Emmanuel Jal has just come back and he's this huge international artist.
Yes.
I'm like, what on earth is going on? So I'm like, okay, so faith is what I need and to do this for the glory of God.
Yes.
I'm like, those two things okay, my life changed that day.
Beautiful.
And I even said, the first thing, next year I'll be on this same stage singing songs and everyone will know the lyrics of my song.
Yeah. I want to know how it was being around such great people. Like, did you see them as great people who, I don't know, because, you're talking about these incredible artists and people that you've been able to work with.
Yeah.
For you, are you, so you're all coming up together.
No one who's greater that time. Jal is the one who's made it.
And he has inspired you to do it.
No, we just know it's possible now. But at this time, remember me, I'm just gotten saved, so I'm just really trying to find this God guy.
Yes.
So I started reading the Bible from the beginning. That's why by the time I get to Exodus, or is it even? No. Yeah, Exodus, where God is talking to Moses. Go when I say go, flow when I say so. I'm relating. That's how I'm writing those things. You get?
Okay, I get.
So my whole first album, The Light.
Yeah.
I have 3 albums. The first one was called The Light. Was a conversation between me and God. So you guys are just eavesdropping into my conversation.
Your conversation.
Every song is a conversation about the life that I'm in. So you can imagine that day I tell God I'm going to start looking for a studio, and I'm not going to any studio where people drink. So 5 days later, Kanji Mbugua was performing.
Yeah.
And I told God, I go for the concert. And I tell God, I don't even want them for their music. I want to be around these people because they have good music. But God, I just want friends who are saved.
Yeah.
After that, I started every day going to Kijiji telling them, I want a record deal. I want a record deal.
Yeah. Can we talk about Kanji and how he's had such a huge impact on your life?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Big brother, potholes filled up by those who came before me. Mentor, big brother, mad props to Kanji. Like Kanji literally changed my life.
Yeah.
Like I stand on Kanji's shoulders. You can't mention anything about my life and not do that. Kanji came in as a big brother, but even almost as a father figure. Like Kanji even told me, no problem, you can live here. Like it was insane what Kanji did for me. Connected me in Mavuno Church. Kanji is the first person who told me, go and rap. You're doing your first gig. It's a live band. Please note, nobody performed with a live band. I was the first hip hop artist in this country.
Yeah,
I said it. To perform with a live band. Like proper.
Yeah.
Like it's all Kanji. Like Kanji gave me the studio. Now Kanji had a studio. Gave me his servant's quarters, but it was like a house next to his house. And the studio in the middle. The studio's in the garage. So like literally every second of our life, we were just producing music.
Wow.
He mentored us, taught us how to perform. He was just good and still is. Still is one of my best friends in this entire earth. Yeah.
I want to know when you met Mercy Njoki, your wife. Because you guys have done a song together called...
a couple of songs.
Okay, the one I know is Naweza. Yeah.
So my so God always sort of transitions me. So when I become this musician, next thing I know, I'm on TV. And then next thing I know, I'm mentoring people. And next thing, like the music opened up doors for me to help other people. So I had like 3 shows on TV. I'm the MC for the Groove Awards. I'm like being called across the what do you call this place? The continent. But when I'm across the continent, I'm not thinking of going by myself.
Okay.
I'm like, how do I go with other Kenyans and musicians? You get?
Yeah.
So in the process, I had a TV show, and there's a guy who came and said, hey, Jeffro. Hey, Jeffro, I need to thank you for introducing me to my wife.
Shout out, Jeffro.
So Jeffro is a musician, just lover of hip-hop, gospel hip-hop. Still is.
Yes.
Pastor. So he was like, hey, there's this CD you need to listen to of this person you need to help. And at that time, I was mentoring a girl called Jaya. So he gives me, and I've got this show on K24 called Get Lifted. So he gives me Masinjoki's song, album. And I'm like, whoever this chick is, like, I really want to help her. Like, she's got such beautiful songs, beautiful voice. Beautiful lyrics.
Yeah.
And then, so I asked her, hey, I'd like to invite you to my show. She's like, I'm not down with this Kenyan gospel music industry. There's too much politics. I don't want to.
I'm a kata.
Yeah. Then I was also like, can this chick really be as fine as this, or is this all makeup and other things? So let me go and look at the tagged photos.
Ulienda kwa tagged photos.
I was like, damn, this shorty is fine. But this time I was with that chick. So anyway, a year later, she decides, okay, fine, I'll come for the Get Lifted show. And she comes, and the rest is history. How we ended up recording that thing. So when we got married, immediately we entered into a project called 52 Weeks, 52 Songs. So every week, so I told her, okay, no, you want to do this music thing?
Yeah.
I'll help you for a year.
Yes.
So just every week, you've got to go to the studio, record a song. We'll put it on the digital streets and see what happens.
Yeah. You are a father of 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Can we talk a bit about fatherhood and how it's been the journey?
It's a metamorphosis. It just keeps changing, growing, like especially as first of all you're entering this thing for the first time.
Yeah.
And you're just feeling this whole new emotion called responsibilities. It's an emotion. You are still figuring out marriage. Then now you've got to provide, and you're in business, and there's all these different things coming.
Yeah.
But you come home to people who depend and rely on you, which is a crazy feeling for a dude.
Yeah.
But it has also extreme joys. Extreme joys that you can never like. At the end of it, when you see your person laughing, you're just like, this was worth it.
Yeah.
Please note, me, I never wanted to be a father.
Really?
It was okay to be just me and my wife. Double income, no kids.
Then what changed? What happened?
God had other plans.
Yeah.
Anyway, the second kid comes in. So our first daughter is called Rain.
Rain?
Yeah, Rain.
Was she born when it was raining?
Yes, but we
rainy
got the
season?
name even before she was conceived.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like we knew, just like I'm like, I'm not getting kids, God. You're gonna have a girl. You're gonna have a child. You're gonna have a daughter, and you'll call her Rain. So our second daughter is called Kay, and that one is named after. My father is called Kenneth. My father-in-law is called Kenneth. And Kenneth Matiba. So that we took the K, but Kei. Rain is a blessing. Like rain, when it rains, it's a blessing.
Yes.
And K in Japanese is also Kei, because you couldn't put a letter.
Yeah.
on the
certificate.
So like, I need something which is deep and still sounds nice. So K in Japanese is blessing. Yeah. So.
Wow.
But actually, it's the most amazing thing. It's what I live for. That's why I say this birthday for me was the best birthday ever.
Yeah.
It was just my girls, my wife, and my 2 kids who came.
Nice. Now I want to talk
And friends.
And friends and colleagues.
Yeah, before guys catch wounds.
Can we please talk about the digital space? Now, you have been in the digital space for 20 years.
Imagine that. I feel
Imagine
old.
that.
Like, oh man, I'm old.
Now, I know you worked for Google Kenya.
Yes.
As head of G Plus Media. Can we please talk about how you got there?
Yes, I worked for Google twice. I was head of YouTube, YouTube East Africa.
Yes,
that's hence where the name YouTube Label comes. But it started under G Plus.
Yeah.
So under G Plus, I was made something called a community media and music community evangelist. Basically, my job was to be an influencer for G Plus, to get people who were. Okay, happens like this. Facebook comes into the game and Facebook completely disrupts the internet. Why? Because people are spending their whole day on Facebook without leaving. If you don't leave Facebook, it means G Plus doesn't make money, because G Plus makes money when you go to other websites and advertising and things like that. Okay. So imagine suddenly the whole world is spending their whole day on Facebook.
On Facebook.
So G Plus are like, oh my God, this thing called social media is impacting us in ways that we can't understand. We need help.
Yeah.
So they commission across the world different people to get people to. They create this platform called G Plus, which was a very bogus social media platform. Yeah. To be honest, it had some X factors about it, like live streaming. Like there were some things you could do. Yeah. So at this time, I'm working on in TV. I've just understood that content is the way to go. Like this is 2012 by the time I'm saying all this. Guys are like, oh, what's this content thing? Oh, what? Me, I'm just like, guys, so I'm working at head of radio and TV at Fountain Media. The whole digital migration thing had happened. Yeah, so I was made the head of that. But I'm like, this station is not doing relevant content to the masses, to the audience. Like we're taking Nigerian content and putting it on our platform. Like I myself don't like this station. Yeah. So how on earth can I even sell it? So I'm like, you know what, stuff it. I'm going to work at Google.
Yes.
And I tell God that. I'm like, I'm going to work at Google. My boss is like, no, I don't think it's time for you to go. How are you going to go? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to work at Google.
Yes.
And the strangest thing happens. A lady called Amanda. Shout out to Amanda wherever you are across the world. Like, completely changed my life. Calls me. She's like, oh, by the way, I'd like to interview you for a position at Google. I'm like, what? I've just left my job. For sure, let me come.
Definitely.
So I go and meet her.
Yeah.
And she interviews me, and we had such an amazing conversation. Then I leave. So somebody had referred A-Star to her. Giuliani, actually. Giuliani's manager.
All right.
Because she wanted Giuliani's manager to take the job. So Giuliani's manager like, no, if you want somebody who knows about digital, try this A-Star guy. And then somebody else had told her about a guy called Richard Njau. So she calls me, she's like, Richard Njau, where are you? We had an interview at this time. I'm like, Amanda, I've just been doing an interview.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I just had an interview with A-Star. So she's like, Richard Njau is
Richard
A-Star.
Njau is A-Star.
Yeah. But there's a crazy story about this thing. So I get the interview. But Google had a 7-interview step process.
What?
Yeah. And in one of those steps, they tell me, sorry, you didn't finish university. You don't have the education qualifications for the job. And I'm like, listen here. There's nobody more qualified than me to get this job. And I'll never forget when I went for the final interview, there were 7 other people there. And one of the ladies, I remember, was an actuarial scientist. So I'm just like, God, I'm the one getting this job.
Yes.
And God, so like despite the lack of education qualifications, I still am the one who got the job. Yeah.
Now I want to know, at this point, are you doing CTA? Because I feel like a lot of people have just started knowing about CTA now, but it's something that's been there.
Yep.
And it's something that you started kitambo. So I would want to know, when was this?
Wow. Now I understand why guys, when they do their CTA, they tell me, I've got too much to say. So CTA started when I was a musician. I get nominated for the Kora Awards.
Yes. In
Africa's
Benin.
Africa's most nominated Kora Award. I had 3 nominations. And one of them was to win $1 million. So me, I was like, this God of mine. And I was nominated for a song called In the Name of Jesus. Like at that time, you guys have to understand how insane it was that a gospel artist has gotten to this far.
Yes.
You get?
Yeah.
So I go there and I'm like, oh man, I meet the king and I have a conversation with him about why you letting negative Western hip hop enter your country. What are you doing to prevent their culture from infiltrating your culture? And we have a back and forth conversation with the king, a king.
Yeah.
Then the next day, the organizers like, oh, listen, tomorrow we're going for breakfast. Breakfast with the president. And P Square was supposed to go. But P Square haven't shown up, so I'm going to take you.
Wow.
And just ask them that same question. So when I go there, I'm just like, what? I mean, I'm going to with the president. But and he's going to get saved and all these things. But when I meet him, it's like he was already saved. So imagine having this whole conversation.
Yeah. And
I had nothing to say. He was asking me more questions.
He's the one who was asking you.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I was just like, I wasted. And it says your gift will bring you before kings.
Yeah.
So that night when I went home, 2008, I'll never forget. I was so hurt. I was like, I went to the hotel, not home. I'm like, God, man, like, I never again will my gift bring me before somebody, saved or not saved, and I will waste that opportunity. So I had a dream. And in the dream, which is crazy, there's been a performance about this, like on the Groove Awards.
Yeah. Like,
I have a dream and God asks me, and in the dream, I'm asking my daughter, what do you want to be when you grow up? You can be anything you want. You can be the president like Obama. Obama had just become the president. That's how long ago it was. First time. And
she says something out of the box. She says, I want to be a prostitute.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could say it on your show.
No, you can. You can.
Santa Claus. No.
No, the other ones. The ones we be watching.
Yes. And I mean, I woke up sweating and I was like, I need to clean up the airwaves. At that time, I'd been given $15,000 by Marina's Church through Kanji to do my second album, Letting It Go.
Yes.
And I said, I'm not doing that album. I'm coming back. All together, we're going to become a group and we're going to just push this thing. We're also going to mentor guys.
Yes.
That's when I got Ekodida, that lady I'm telling you, called Jaya, a group called Jasmine, Kamlesh.
Yes.
And we embarked on this thing called 100 high school tours. So I just started doing radical things after that. Like my second album, I put it free online.
Yeah.
No one had ever done that.
Yeah.
There's a time I went to church and said, buy the album for whatever you want to buy. I started creating content on the beat and putting it for Pinye. When I joined Google, I started interviewing people under G+.
Okay.
So Anki Guta. And that was the first time that it took this format of what looks like CTA.
CTA.
But then now later on, when I started for Up Digital, the clients were stressing me. So to clear my time, to clients were stressing me. You know the work then that comes with corporate life.
Yeah,
it's a bit stressing. So as my hobby, I'd say let's do a gig for 60 people at CTA'D Center just here, and people can come and just play. A musician comes and plays. But I told them, when you play, talk about the lyrics in your song. Don't just perform it. Just talk about, stop in the middle of the song and tell me why you wrote that lyric.
This lyric, yeah.
So I loved that. Just, it was for myself.
Yeah.
and I'd invite 50 other people.
Yes.
But when they did that, CTA'D Center burnt down. But I realized more than them singing, I liked the backstory.
Yes.
So I was like, let me now just be. And I had access to all these guys. So I'm like, let me just be putting a camera and having conversations with
That's
what in 2016 or something.
16.
Yeah.
Who was the first person you interviewed?
So musically, so I had who came? Riga came. Even Riga and Noel, when I was trying to help them market their albums and their songs, I tell them, come to my office, let me just shoot you, we just talk.
Yes.
So that was some of the way it started. But the first proper one in the CTA format, Musyoka. Eric Musyoka.
Nice.
Was the first one that I did.
I want us to talk a bit about the 100 high schools tour that you did with a positive influence lounge live. Can we please talk about
lounge live?
Yes.
Wow. So those are two things. First of all, Mabadiliko was the 100 high schools, 15 universities high school tour that we did across this country.
Wow.
So we came together and formed a group called CTA'D. I saw my own day has been on the show.
Yes, I had
who does your research.
Yeah.
Me, my own day, a guy called Riga, Bupe, Michelle were in a group called CTA'D.
Yeah, I don't even know why I didn't mention that, but I was so intrigued by the story that CTA'D. Yeah.
So when a group, the aim was we're going to be rather than me do my own album and explode, why don't we all come together? For 1 year?
Yeah.
Do songs, mentor guys, do tours, like teach people about how to be performers.
Yeah.
Before that, under Kanji, we had been something called hip hop. So me, Giuliani, Riga, but we're each individual artists who, like Wu-Tang, individual artists that became a group.
Yeah.
What's the new school version of Wu-Tang?
Ooh.
Who's doing that these days?
It's a good question. I don't know if
that's crazy. There's no one. There's no bunch of
individuals. Yeah.
Even
it's
Dr.
been
Yeah, even the Farm, Nas, AZ, and Foxy Brown came together as well.
But I can't think of anybody who has recently.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Not thought about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what hip hop was. Now Chit-Chat was that. So that tour, we went around doing that.
Yeah.
But then now Mwapi Lounge Live, that's something crazier. So a lot of these tours would not do live band. We do backing track. But I was obsessed with live band because like this was then. Because I could tell the deeper stories within the songs. Yeah. So it was like what I'm doing for CTA, but I could stop in the middle of the rap and give guys context of the song. This song, this is how it came to be. This is why I did these lyrics. This is the story. This is not just a song. This is the story behind the song. Then I performed it. Yeah. And I could perform now my catalog because I had like a lot of songs at that time.
I think you have like 67 songs.
Yep. And then recording then, that was
that was something else.
It's not like now,
yeah. Now you can even do it on your phone. You can do everything on your phone.
That was proper studio recorded songs.
Yes. Yeah. I want to know, since when you started YouTube, I feel like you were amongst the first people who had a very active YouTube channel, and you've seen the growth, especially with the digital space. Can we please talk a bit about that?
So, when I started YouTube when YouTube just started.
Yes.
And the reason being because all these musicians, gospel musicians, would give me their music to give Pinye. Because me and Pinye were very good friends at the time. Yeah. So I'd give him because Pinye controlled the beat. And the beat was Spotify for us. If you go to, in fact, Spotify, YouTube, that's the only place you could watch Kenyan music. So, but these guys didn't know about this platform called YouTube. All these musicians, name them. So I started uploading music because of Kenyan Madness. I had an understanding of digital.
Digital, yes.
And a need and a want to give music to the Kenyan diaspora. So I'd upload music on this platform called YouTube.
Okay.
From 2008.
Yeah.
Anybody and everybody's music. That channel has even been shut down because of all the copyright infringement.
Yes.
People chanukad later on.
They chanukad.
Yes. So when YouTube came to the country, they looked for the biggest YouTube channels in the country, and it was NTV, KTN, and Richard Njau.
Wow.
Like then, imagine. So like, what's this company called Richard Njau? Is it Richard Njau?
Richard Njau.
So they ended up getting me. They found out they called us the tribe. We met. We kicked it, but they were like, "You're just an individual. We will allow you to become an aggregator." That's what everybody wanted to become later on. So I was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." But in the meantime, go under a lady called Sarah Migwi and learn. Do what? Learn about YouTube.
Okay.
So under Sarah, I would also now get artists, Octopizzo, MOG to come and sign under them on YouTube.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's when my understanding happened for YouTube. That was my introduction.
Yeah.
But later on, when I got employed now by YouTube, I was just like, oh my God, like people don't even understand the magnitude of this thing called YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Hence why I formed a company called 4UP Digital.
Okay.
So I was not even thinking musicians. I was just like, even like it's beyond this thing.
Yeah.
So I've seen YouTube go from literally 4 YouTube channels to what it is now, where 4 Kenyan YouTube channels are opened up every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or even every minute.
Yes. I've
seen people get a living. Like when I think of Mungai Eve.
Yes.
When I think of, I used to teach people about monetization back in the day. They'd be like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
No, you can't make money. Like you just upload my song.
They didn't understand.
Yeah.
Can you please give us advice? Like if somebody wants to start creating content and go into YouTube and start vlogging, what tips can you give?
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry.
Like I'll give you an example. I'm studying. Like you can't stop studying. Like
that
even now, I've opened up a new YouTube channel called Cleaning the Airwaves Shorts.
Okay.
And not shorts long for like shorts because I've been studying Mr. Beast. I've been studying the managers of, like, it's constantly evolving. Go read about something called average view duration, AVD.
Okay.
AVD is new on YouTube, where now it doesn't matter about the subscribers. YouTube is, you can have 0 subscribers. I had 0 subscribers a week ago on this new CTA Shorts channel. As of now, I have over 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
A week ago, it's just taken me a week. I have over 50,000 views because the algorithms and how YouTube is working in terms of enabling people to see content no longer depends on just subscribers. If you've got good content, they will push it for you.
Push it, yeah.
Like that's new. That's happened within the last few days. You get TikTok is another world. There's Reels.
That is true.
Like, so you've got to stay hungry. You've got to constantly experiment. I'm so scared about all the successful influencers right now because that success is their hindrance. I've seen some what do you call this, influencers who don't have YouTube channels. I'm like, what on earth are you doing?
Yeah.
I've seen some young guys who are in the 20s and they're like, nah, TikTok is not for me. Who said?
Who said?
You get what I mean?
Yes.
There's no one standard format. There's CT on TikToks. I've chopped up videos into 1 minuters, and I see people watch them. It blows my mind.
Wow.
When I was doing this long format content, people used to tell me, no, people just want 5-minute videos. I'm like, I created the 5-minute videos that you're saying.
Yes.
People just want good content.
Good content.
And good content is content that gives them value. And value is 4 things. Number 1, entertaining. Positively entertaining.
Okay. Positively, guys.
Like people think the negative entertainment works, but you try it and let's see. Let's see how long you'll do that for. 2, people want to be inspired. They want their soul to be made to feel better. 3, people want to be educated. And 4, this is very strange because it's unique to this generation. People want to be aspired. What I mean by that is, I looked up to Jermaine Dupri, Rodney Jerkins. People are looking up to Nyashinsky. People are looking up to, they can touch the people who they're looking up to and they want to, and they aspire to be like. They're within a few kilometers radius from them.
Yeah.
It's no longer they're no longer looking up to Jay-Z. Nah, me I don't
No.
I want to be like Nyashinsky. Forget Jay-Z.
Yeah. Now your company.
Yep.
What do you guys do? Do you get content creators to create content for brands, or could you please tell me more about it?
So for Up Digital, we closed that.
Okay.
We're pioneers in terms of video content creation for the digital space.
All right.
But the company was there for 5 years because when we looked at the market, we could see there was a metamorphosis happening. So we moved from trying to convince people to shoot video content with what they have. We don't need 7 cameras.
No.
You get.
Yeah.
That was new then. Even the fact that I'm saying it and it sounds foreign. Like, you can't understand the amount of people I tried to convince to just shoot. The first person who literally listened to me was Caroline Mtoko. Mtoko and my wife. So we started that channel.
Okay.
But then, where it is now is that you've seen, there's your camera here. You've got to, people want to create as much content internally. They don't want somebody outsourcing.
Okay.
Though that has also become a business. Now it's that outsourcing because of the price range in which it's gone to and the amount of money that's there. We've got influencers making millions of shillings. They don't want to do their own content creation. But they can afford to pay
someone. Yeah.
For me, as guys close, where I work now, I work for real estate. I'm the head of digital at Goshen Acquisitions and Grand Acres.
Yes, and you just acquired a piece of land.
Yes, and I'm obsessed now. Even I'm in the process of acquiring another one. Yes. Yeah, because I've just understood just the wealth that can come into land, and also I've got kids, so I have to give them a leg up.
Yeah.
I have to give them. I don't want my kids to think rent.
Yeah.
Ever. I want them to think about bigger things in life. Not. There's something that is beautiful about having to pay rent, but there's something limiting about it.
True.
Because now you're forced to do what you don't love.
You're always keeping tabs,
truth,
and you might want to venture and start other things.
There's a limitation that's brought about fear of homelessness. And I understand it as somebody who slept outside. It's never something. But when I think of Prince Harry, and him not like there's Prince Harry before leaving, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like those guys, where the things they dream just because they don't have to think about the basic necessities of life. Their minds. And my boss, Solomon Wangwe, who I've interviewed on CTA'D as well, and I don't even feel like calling my boss, my friend, has opened up my mind to see what happens when you think beyond possibilities, when you think about building cities, when you think about acquiring that kind of land to build cities, when it's amazing. But what I'm just saying all of this to say, this would have been foreign. You're competing with the radio station that's next door here.
True.
With this simple setup.
Yeah.
You're competing with audiences that are not even in your country. The accessibility that you have to audiences that are not even in Kenya. Forget frequency. Now you're on the internet. You're in the matrix. This is the matrix.
We are.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
In fact, let me say this. I'm so lucky that I was there before internet. BC, before computers.
Yes.
And AD, after digital. Biblical references. But because I understand, I understand the miracle that we are doing right now.
Yeah.
That when I walked in, I'm like, where's everybody? What station is this?
Hey,
where are all the 50 people who
should be at front desk? Yeah.
You are literally running. So now what you need to ask yourself is, how do I monetize? How do I get advertisers?
Yes.
You get, how do I, because people want you. People want to tap into, let me give an example. People who are selling stuff via Alibaba or affiliate marketing. Why on earth do they want to tap to advertise their products here?
Yeah.
Why you're doing content creation? Why shouldn't you interview people and people pay you for those interviews? That's where CTA'D has got into.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm very sensitive about CTA'D. It's bigger than me. I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware. And if you notice, I got an influx of people wanting to be interviewed, but I'm aware that Now, who I put there, I have to be very cautious.
Yeah.
Because those listening, the aspiring factor, people are changing their lives.
Yeah.
I've met people who told me, oh, by the way, I watched in Sam Gishuru's interview and in Solomon's that they said you need to travel. So, and Sam Gishuru talked about backpacking. So I deferred my exams and I backpacked to Cape Town.
Okay, I hear you.
I've had people, I mean, I put a paywall and then I thought of the people in Mandera who watch CTA. You know, these are not views, those are individuals. Those are human beings.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so just giggle. Don't create garbage content. There's so much positivity that can be created.
Yeah.
Also, there's so much that Kenya has to offer the rest of the world. I like that you guys constantly play nothing but Kenyan music.
Yes.
Like there's so much.
Yo, and it's crazy because people don't realize how much there is, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. But I want to be able to ask you, since you are at Radio 254, where we exclusively play Kenyan music, I want to know what you listen to, who you're listening to.
So, I got trapped along the trap transition as a hip hopper.
Yeah.
So I grew up on the two parks. Actually, I grew up on Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Boyz II Men. Me, I was on Joe.
Yeah.
In fact, just give me a letter. Tell me a letter. A to Z.
P.
P. Paul Abdul. Okay, I didn't really listen to a lot of Paul Abdul.
Yeah.
I did listen to Prince as well.
B.
I'd be wrong not to say Beyonce.
Beyonce.
I'd shoot myself if I don't say Boyz II Men. Brandy. Bob Devoe. Like there's too many guys with B. Babyface. Now actually, so you see, so I grew up on that era of the musicality.
Okay.
So when I stopped, when the transition to trap came, I lost a lot of the hip hop transition there. Also messaging wise. So now then I tried to move on and try to listen to the new stuff, and I just realized this is not me.
Yeah.
Like I'm forcing it. I'm trying to like it.
Yeah, you're trying
so
too hard.
My car is my sanctuary. I'm listening to what it is that I want to listen to. So, but now because of understanding the power of music, I'm very cautious about who I let into my mind. My space is insane. Like I will guard it like crazy.
It's true. Like I was reading an article, even the frequency at which you listen to music and that is actually produced is quite key. And you know, there's vibrations and frequencies.
Let me tell you, even for example, Tupac Shakur, who I could rap every single song to, I don't listen to him anymore. Just because I'm like, what you put into your inputs, your ears, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, goes in and forms who you become. So I will repeat the same song over and over again. Though I like discovering new music. Like I discovered a guy called Flyer, Kenya musician. Oh my God, he's so brilliant.
Yes.
Maverick City, they've been on my playlist I think for like 2 years now. William McDowell, Noel Derrito. But I listen, I give it a chance. I give a lot of people a chance. If I don't like, I just don't press repeat.
Yeah.
And these days I judge you in 3 to 5 seconds.
Let me ask, because you have been in the music industry for quite a long time. What do you think about where it's at right now?
I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who are so talented. It's so, and now Kenyan music is so wide.
It is.
Like it's not, there's probably 50,000 musicians I've never heard of who have a full-time career doing music.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I knew the whole music industry back in the day. Name it. I knew everybody.
From
gospel to secular to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew everyone. Even in Tanzania and Uganda, and even crossover to get to know those ones.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, sometimes I let my Spotify just do a Spotify. And I'm like, what on earth is this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you guys do it. In fact, how do you guys do it?
So we have a lot of people who send us their music and we are constantly researching, you know, and Spotify also helps, you know, when you're trying to search for new artists. But mostly they reach out to us. We also do our research. And even if there's no show currently happening, there's always music. So it will always go back to a playlist and just, That's how.
Nice.
That's how we do it.
I'll give it a proper listen.
Please
Yes,
do.
I will.
Please
Because
do.
I feel like there's a lot I've left on the table.
Yeah.
And that's how you know you're crossing into a different age group.
Mm.
There's a lot I'm leaving on the table because I don't even know. So there's let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I'll use this analogy. The pizza. Pizzas with, let's say, 12 slices of pizza. One slice is what I know. So I know about Calligraph. I'm listening to Calligraph's new album, by the way. I know Nyashinsky. I know... I was going to say Bahati. I know Bahati, but I know.
Yeah.
But then I know, or I know what I like. Then I know what I don't like. So I know I don't like the new Bahati.
You know?
I know what I don't like.
Yeah.
But there's this. So that's only 2 slices out of the 12. There's 10 slices of what I don't know. So like Flyer, when I discovered him, I'm like, what madness is
Is this?
Like, who is this musician?
Yeah.
He has all these songs. Like, what on earth is this? Yeah. So I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is sadly time is up. Yeah, it's 2:04. So last question. What would you want to be remembered for?
That changes as the years go by. Now I think I know what I want to be remembered for. And can I be honest? Okay, let me say this in a different way. So there's who I want to be remembered for as two different people.
Okay.
So number one, to my wife, good husband, great partner in terms of helping her do the whole parenting thing.
Yeah.
To my kids, good father. To other people, doesn't really matter. And the reason why is because of this whole SO thing. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
When I discovered this whole thing called an SO, a sent one, and I discovered in a very weird way. I was just reading the Bible and I was realizing Jesus uses the word sent
so many times. Yeah.
I'm like, what's this sent thing? Like, who lives their lives like this? Like, everything he did came from somewhere.
Yeah.
To the point where when he's on the cross, he's literally going through his checklist and he realizes, oh my God. In fact, when he's on the cross, he knew, he even told the thief, don't worry, with you, part 2 continues in a place called paradise. I'll be with you there. But then he realizes there's something he didn't do. And he says, in order to complete the scriptures,
Yeah.
Jesus said, I am thirsty. So he didn't say, I am thirsty of I am thirsty, but there's something that needed to happen in that process. And I was like, oh my God, this life is a blink. Like, in fact, when I turned 40, I was like, Holy Spirit, help, let's finish this flesh.
Yeah.
Like, me and him, let's work together to use this flesh until the wheels fall off. So my and I got this also from Sylvia Mulinge. She's like, I live for an audience of one. My aim has stopped being caring about how I'm remembered to people. And I know it's because some people may be like, that girl was rude. And what I was rude is about telling them, you need to love Christ, or you need to get to know Christ. Because I'm doing things from an instructional perspective. So when I do things from an instructional perspective, it will rub a lot of people the wrong way. There are some CTAs I've recorded that I've not released.
Yeah.
They're just chilling in drives. And I'm sure those people will think, this guy, what the heck is wrong with him? Probably in his spiritual halo, whatever. But I'm just like, yo, I'm sorry. But there's some CTAs I've done out of instructions, and the impact they've had is just insane. So I care about who I'm remembered to my direct family, meaning my wife, not even my parents, just my wife.
Your wife and your kids.
To the rest, it like, I don't even want to think in that place. I want to just good and faithful servant. I want to say the words job done. I want to hear well done. That's it.
Wow. Beautiful. I want to say thank you so much
Thank you for doing your research. Like, damn, I've enjoyed this. I've talked so much. I'm thirsty.
Thank you so much, Richard, for gracing us with your presence. Honestly, you're an inspiration to so many. I personally watch your CTAs like almost anytime you upload, and I can't wait to see where it's gonna go. And
it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
I promise you, my next person on CTA,
yeah.
Even you'll be like, what?
Yeah.
How? When? Where?
When is it dropping? Can we get at least a when?
Can you get a when? Next year, first month.
First month.
Yep.
Okay. Sawa sawa. I will definitely be waiting anxiously.
Yep.
Thank you so much again for coming through. And to everybody who has been listening, it has been an amazing show. I want to play Close Your Eyes. Yes, as we close the show. Please make sure that you follow all our social media platforms at Radio 254. Make sure you keep it locked, where we exclusively bring you that Kenyan music 24/7. This is Close Your Eyes by A-Star.
Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up your eyes wide if you know he's alive. Yes, yes, yes. Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up your eyes wide if you know he's alive. Yes, yes. Kwanzaa, it's only right for me to start like this. Asante sana for forgiving me life. The mission I accept, mwana wangu tamu know I'm not speaking to Nairobi, mina ongea na dunia nzima. Who'd have thought that there's nothing of a boy would turn into a man, now he's trying to turn his boys. Make them understand that Christ was more than man. Born from a virgin, conceived by the Holy Spirit. Yes, he walked on water, turned water to wine. Yes, he healed the sick, seek Jesus you will find. Yes, he made them see, gave vision to the blind. And yes, we took fish, 5 loaves, he fed the masses. Who'd have thought that there's nothing of a boy would turn into a man, now he's trying to turn his boys. Lord, I'm scared. Mungu sina sauti ya kuongea. I'm hopeless on the cordless, me the skinless. Mungu akaniambia kama yule Moses. Who gives man his mouth? Who makes him deaf or dumb? I am the great I am. Put this mic in your hands, speak to my people. Go when I say go, flow when I say so. Stop when I say no. Know that I'm the truth, yes, know that I am able. Never say impossible, it's possible with Jesus. So blessed, oh yes, JC, so fresh. Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up your eyes wide if you know he's alive. Yes, yes. Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up your eyes wide if you know he's alive. Yes, yes. Peke yangu on the stage, all eyes on me. Nimesahau kila kitu, so I fall to my knees. Baba Mungu nisaidie, please give me the strength. Help me speak to your people, let me address. Suddenly I feel the Holy Spirit moving deep inside of me. I jump to my feet and I speak with authority. Jesus is the answer, the truth and the life. The only way you can receive is by believing in Christ. But listen, the gate to life is narrow. The only way to find the right path is by reading the Bible, following the teachings of Christ and his disciples. Yes, have faith and the Father will guide you. Skiza, kuna watu wamekaa bona tabu. God said be strong, hold on, you will pull through. He knows that life is hard, yes, times are difficult, but at the end of the rainbow there's a pot of gold. Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up your eyes wide if you know he's alive. Yes, yes. Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up your eyes wide if you know he's alive. Yes, I'm not alone anymore, Jesus by my side. Deep inside, juu chini mbele na nyuma. Verse 1 I was scared, Yesu akaniskuma. Verse 2 he was there, I had nothing to fear. Verse 3 bado niko liza amos mili wako. Asante sana Mungu, prop zote ni zako. If I could only take your strength and use it to teach to each and every non-believer I'm trying to reach. This is more than just a song, more than just a bunch of letters, more than just a rapper on the mic trying to make cheddar. I'm trying to make it better, trying to make a change. I hope you get to see the light, I hope you call his name. The devil is a liar, that is the truth. Without Jesus in your life, you will burn in the fire. I hope you're listening, I hope you understand. Adam ate the apple, separated God from man. Yes, one they go from Salabani for my sins. So Jesus is the only way, Jesus is the bridge. I hope you understand, I hope that you see. More than that, I hope you get down on your knees and receive. Kabla ni malize, I'd like to finally say, down on my knees as I finally pray. Lord, I thank you for the message you have given today. May you live in my heart forever to stay. Yes. Close your eyes for a moment if you know that he died. Open up